Right, so question 20, hair works. So, and quite similar to the others, but with a slightly different layout. I think what's interesting here, which is why I think it's a good question, is that they bring in this business with the fixed selling and admin. So there's a temptation to want to absorb this as well, but you know we're only interested, right, in production costs. Okay, so let's work this. Um, same idea again. We do some production. We're only selling um, uh, some of it. So let's go. So let's deal with marginal costing. So first of all, we have sales. So you sell 10,000, so that's 10,000 times 100, of course. And of course, that's a million, isn't it? Actually, I'll just take that out. I should have done it here the other way. So we will have, yeah, 10,000 times 100, and that takes us into the 1 million zone. And then cost of sales, of course, we're looking just at marginal. So that's 40 times 12,500, of course, and 40 times 12,000, 40 times 12,500 is 500,000. I'll just use a different pen color just to note, just to be clear that we're eliminating or removing, oops, sorry, getting rid of the closing inventory. And closing inventory is 2,500 of it is in there because you sell 10,000, so your closing inventory must have been 2,500. So you have 2,500 of it left. 40 times 2,500, and that's 100,000. That's 100,000, which leaves us back with, in terms of cost of sales, of not cost of sales, but variable costs of 400,000. Right? That didn't change color. It doesn't really matter. Bringing me to a nice contribution there of 100,000 minus 400,000 of 600,000. And to be fair, the thing is, these are period costs, aren't they? These are period costs. All of those costs are going through irrelevant of what production was. These are period costs. So in that time, you will have fixed production costs of 400,000 and you will have fixed selling costs of 150,000, and together that looks like 550, leaving you with profits of 50,000. Right, so you have that. Now let's look at absorption costing. With absorption costing, the key point here is that I will absorb this 400,000. I will absorb this 400,000 over my production, over the number of units I actually produce. And that's 400,000 divided by 12,500, 400,000 divided by 12,500, giving you a fixed overhead absorption rate of 32 pounds a unit, which will be absorbed every time you make a unit. So what does that mean? I know now that in addition to this 40, I have to consider that when I absorb, and that's where the full absorption comes in. So the total full absorption cost is the 40, which is the variable, plus the 32, which takes us to 72. So you have a full cost of 72, and we literally do the same thing. So let's work it. We have 10,000 times 100, which takes us to a million again. Then you have your cost of sales, which is the 72 times, of course, the 12,500 less the 72 times the 2,500. So let's do that. What do we have there? We will have 72 times 12,500, which takes us to 900,000. And then, of course, less 72 times 2,500, which is 180,000, giving us a cost of sales of 720,000, and therefore a gross profit, yes, of course, of 180,000 pounds. So that's what you have. Oops, yes, did that? No. Oh, Ian, you were right the first time. 280,000. 280,000. Of course, there is because those fixed production costs were absorbed into the product, all we're taking away now are the fixed selling. So quite some nice layouts I think they do. It's quite good to make sure the students are safely over the line. So 280,000 minus 150,000 gives you 130,000. So we clearly see, so let's look at the profits from marginal costing. Profits from marginal costing, 50,000. Absorption costing profits are 130,000. So we have a difference. So the change in production, of course, you started the day 0. You now have you finished your closing inventories 2,500. You have your fixed production overhead of 32. We calculated that, and so 2,500 times 32 takes us to 80,000. I'll just use a different pen color for that. Takes us to 80,000. You can see that's how you arrive at your difference. And I've illustrated several times that the reason you have a difference in your marginal and your absorption is because you have fixed overhead costs that do not go through, especially when you have, well, not especially when production is greater than sales. You have closing inventory period costs that are living. Period costs, I repeat that, period costs are living in inventory, and they've not been deducted in that year as an expense because they've left us as closing inventory, haven't they? Because of the accruals, and as a result, we are richer. But it doesn't matter because the next year they will manifest, if you like, as opening inventory, so to speak. Cool, great stuff. And that is question 20. Question 20.